Kaylee Wright and Brown. A mobile trio that is. Fionn Lewis gets the nod at scrum half. They will need her physicality. So we are underway here in Manchester. A referee for you. So say good afternoon to him. Should Jonathan Cook. Mr. Cook gives his first penalty of the afternoon. Very good afternoon to you, Vicky McQueen, as well, alongside.
Good afternoon, Johnny. Awesome to be here. Looking forward to a really exciting game today.
Yeah, it's been an incredible, just mentioned it very, very briefly there, it's been an incredibly emotional 7 days for both these sets of not only players, management, but everyone involved in these two clubs. Yeah,
100%, and it's just really right and fitting today that they can just actually focus on the rugby on the field for what it seems like a very long time.
If you have been under a rock of late, both sides offer conditional places to next season's Premier 15s. First line out of the day, an area that Worcester Warriors certainly dominated in their last meeting. Sale have won it and get the drive on as well. This will be very physical, and Worcester Warriors are coming up the side. Penalty coming to the home side already, and it's a good start here, just flexing the muscles.
It's a really good drive by Worcester Warriors, and now they fling the ball out wide, but a great start. Really good rolling more from Worcester.
And then using Howard, they will do that all afternoon. The USA player who played in the World Cup. Wrecking ball. Worcester not committing many to that breakdown. Duffy just flying that ball out. Her first instinct is to attack.
And that's what's exciting about Duffy today. It'd be great to see her, really commanding the play and, throwing the ball around when it's appropriate.
Morrissey with a nice heavy challenge and an ant twist, one of the characters of this squad. Nice continuity here from Sale. There's Howard in at first receiver, just flicks one off to her right, and then back inside. It's the 1-2, and it's a dream start for Sale Sharks. Great build-up from a couple of penalties, and they got over that gain line, and in the end it's an easy run in for Howard.
Oh, it was a fantastic try. Apologies, I said Worcester Warriors in commentary. In Sale had an amazing line-out driving maul. They just took it to them, went to gain line, made sure they drove hard over gain line, managed to get the ball out wide and just kept the momentum going. And the tempo of the game that Sale are playing is immense. An awesome offload just inside to put a great try under the posts.
She came on the World Cup quarter-final for the US Eagles women's side against Canada.
Just a massive power game. The way she's managed to break the line, utilise her footwork and just the strength and power to carry across. Fantastic try.
It's down to Liz Duffy. 63% off the tee so far this season. That will help the stats and the scoreboard. 7 up the Sale.
Great start for Sale, just in terms of getting that domination in the set piece, making sure they can carry the ball at pace up to the line, and just that continuity of play. Tempo is so important in this game, and if Sale can keep that momentum going from the whistle, it could be a long day for Worcester today.
That one just bobbled away into touch.
Disappointing. Really important that you get those set pieces right. It's easy to say from a coaching point of view, but making sure you're in the zone, making sure those little errors don't creep in, is something actually really important that they dot the I's and they cross the T's.
And we just touched on the week that both these sides have had. That news after just before Christmas being said that their places weren't certain, and now those conditional offers. But just to get on the board. Spoke to both head honchos this week, Joe Yapp and Rachel Taylor. Rachel's going to be far happier now, and she just got that score on the board, just settle everything down, just deal with those emotions.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's all about who gets the first shot on the board, really, just to settle those nerves. So Sale will absolutely feel in that zone. They've started really well, and now it's just about maintaining that presence, maintaining the battle on the gain line, and making sure that they throw everything into their impacts.
When I spoke to Rachel Taylor, she was doing another great passion of hers outside of rugby, flower arranging.
Oh, what a lovely passion to have outside of rugby, and a good contrast.
Incredible contrast. I mean, of all the things I thought she'd be doing, flower arranging was not high on the list in the slightest.
Actually might be quite therapeutic, Johnny.
Really therapeutic.
I might need to
Wade
take
Dooley, if those you remember, if you're old enough, used to tend to roses.
I actually can remember that name, so that makes me nearly as old as you, Johnny. Okay, we've got this.
Blue badges all over.
No, great start for Sale, and Worcester really need to try and get their mark in the game now. I suggest, you know, for me, it'd be let's go back to basics. Let's hit the gain line hard and just make sure we get some possession on.
It's round 10, the early fixture of Exeter against DMP. It's a 12 o'clock kick-off. 12:30 for Bristol, Gloucester, the other live stream.
Penalty against in the scrum, interesting. Sailor dominating that collision, that first set piece. Could be an indication of where the game's going to go.
After Swan Kiggles, Ross against Saracens, and then tomorrow Harlequins against Loughborough Lightning. Coming into this round, 5th, Worcester. That win over Loughborough Lightning, excellent second half performance it was from Joe Yapp's team. 4 wins and 4 losses.
Really was a game of two halves, that one, wasn't it, Johnny?
Yeah. And the same Sale, 4 wins, 4 losses. A congested table coming into this round in 7th position. They've won the line out, but it's scrappy, and Worcester trying to come straight through on it.
Yeah, good line speed from Worcester, but they're just not getting their hands on the ball and getting control of the game, but defensively looking really sharp.
Straight through, weaving now, needs that support. Has it from Molly Wright, the 2 Scotland internationals. Now they look on that right hand side. Screams from the touchline here that it was on outright to the right hand side. Morrissey, it's a loose one.
And that's unfortunate because, you know, they had real momentum there, Sale, but just the detail on that pass just not quite right. They need to make sure that their detail's correct. No, not throwing 50-50 balls. You know, it's great to see a lock in the line, but take it on. Drive your legs, reset the play, take it across the game line.
Away by Fionn Lewis, change ship Worcester. Holly Horden just looking around her, just thought it might be an opportunity just to put the foot right down on the floor as Thorpe comes through. The number 20s international, and then it's Duffy again, and Alicia Washington with that off-roading ability. Paris Redding, 3, can't take it. Knocked on, advantage being played to Worcester, but you see those long levers, don't you, of Alicia Washington?
Yeah, fantastic to see Alicia Washington back in the mix. You know, the fact she's just got such a power game, and she's got real details to the way she plays as well. A little bit of footwork, a little bit of an offload game, but that powerhouse that she is just makes such an impact on the game.
And of course playing against her former club. Scored a try against them in the previous meeting.
Yeah, Sale have created so many opportunities so far already. Like I said earlier, it's just the detail, you know, getting that pass to hand, making sure rifles are following through in the passes. Just simple little details where they've thrown away a few points.
17-24 when these guys met in round 2. Different tactics already from Sale, I may suggest. They kicked the leather off it that day, looking for grass. This is far more direct and We're talking about directives. Washington again. But illegally, Sale tried to keep hold of that ball, and Worcester will have a penalty reliever.
Yeah, I think sealing off there, wasn't it? Yeah, correct call by the referee. But again, just almost like an over-eagerness to try and do the right thing. They're so keen, they're on it, their tempo. But yeah, it's just taking a backward step and making sure they're sure.
Thorpe. Touch doesn't find. Not found, I should say. Grieve. Duffy. Molly Wright again. Loves the ball in hand. Irwin. Often out there in the wide spaces.
Good pick up there from Washington. Oh, not quite. Looked like a good one from here, Johnny.
Slightly knocked on by Anna Young, wasn't it? Who, one of the players that Rachel Taylor spoke to me about this week, just been really impressed with her, just like a sponge, wanting to absorb all the knowledge, really thriving in a professional environment. Small P.
Correct, small P, Johnny. I think it's great that at the moment the girls are just so focused, across the board of rugby. They just want their sponges, like you say. They want to take on board every detail because suddenly they're getting loads more input than they've ever had before, and that's really exciting as a player.
It's been a trademark of the women's game, isn't it? The players that play it, the people involved, get their role in it. They have a responsibility to grow it and build it for themselves and for the game itself.
Yeah, huge responsibility for all the players and all the coaches to push this game on.
Fionn Lewis. That's better from Worcester. Gareth Cox. Moto. Back now at the club. Really pleased to see the Japanese international back at the club. Delaney put something on it, and then Moto back again. Here's Howard just searching in field, looking for a weak shoulder, a branch. Vicky Irwin. There's two Vicky Irwins on the Sale side. One in the back row, one of the centres.
They like to confuse us, don't they, Johnny?
Molly Wright again. Fierce in that breakdown, isn't it? Really is.
Yeah, Sale are flying bodies in, left, right and centre, and actually, securing really good ball. But Worcester are trying to defend, they're trying to get in there and get involved, but they're just very good at retaining the ball at the moment, Sale.
Pretty pleased, wasn't it? A pleasant day at the office against Gloucester Hartbury, but not many experiencing nice days at the office at Gloucester Hartbury at the moment.
No, they're pretty much on fire at the moment, aren't they?
Certainly are. The way they've come out in this opening 10 or 15 minutes, Sale will please the management. Washington clearing out. Grieve again, Duffy. Good start from her. Paris Redding. Oh, they're through again. So easy for Sale.
That was a cracking try. Just the fact that she's had to take on two players on the outside, stepped inside and still managed to break that tackle. A fantastic finish for a winger of her capability.
Yeah, Holly Bowden. First try of the season for her. Certainly pleased her.
It was just lovely link-up play, wasn't it? Really good. They found the edge, they managed to move the ball in and just managed to step away out of contact. She literally took three players on, into out, lovely footwork and dived over the line. A fantastic winger's finish. The way Sale are moving the ball around is absolutely brilliant at the moment. If they can maintain this tempo and keep the game where it is, it could be a hard day at the office for Worcester today. Looking at Worcester now as they're running back out, they've just got to get their heads in this game now. They need to maintain some possession. They need to make sure they have the right mindset on this game, because otherwise it could run away with them.
Just not being allowed to play at the moment, though, are they? It's as simple as that. I mean, it's our home patch, it's our ball, and we're not going to let you have it. That's the attitude of Sale Sharks right now.
Yeah, massive intent from Sale. Really impressive start.
try score. We'll forgive her that one. After an excellent finish, just coming off that right wing. What your wingers to do, isn't it? Stay away from that touchline. Best defender in the world. Sorry, it's not Sunday morning. Sorry.
No, she had a brilliant sidestep there, left and right. Really, really impressive for a winger. Like I say, great capable winger. Always up.
Lydia Thompson, great to see her back on the field.
Yeah, I'm really pleased for Lydia. You know, been a really tough time, obviously, post the summer, so it's really good to see her back in the game and enjoying the rugby again.
Steph Evans, Bristol. Flow long, flinging out a pass. It's a great pass as well from the tie, a little shimmy as well.
That's what I like to see, Johnny. Props that can pass those passes accurately, 10 metres. Brilliant pass from Flow long.
Lewis. Hayley Wright is having a great season so far. Penalty coming here to Worcester anyway. Yamamoto, flat. Into Sherman. Nobody committed to that breakdown for Sale, so they're going to have to go through the hard way here, Worcester.
Yeah, it's a good decision by Sale to be icing these breakdowns. It means they can give full momentum to their line speed.
Pull back from Karis Phillips, and then it's a little wraparound ball and some space here as well. Lovely from Worcester. They had to respond, but they've been held up. What a tackle that is from Duffy.
Wow, that shows the class of Duffy to be able to make that tackle, get across in the first instance to the tackle, and then be able to hold up. Is it Lydia Thompson over the line? Fantastic tackle.
Sharks, let's have a bit more space in the back foot, please.
What a tackle from Duffy.
Just the way she gets across, the way she goes high, she targets the ball, makes sure she's underneath the ball. Fantastic defensive show.
No mercy given there by Duffy.
No mercy. a great comment there, Johnny. I like that.
Got another chance here though, Worcester. That's better. Ball's tighter still, body position. I suspect they'd want to be a little bit lower, but they go around the left-hand side and they have got it down. And we just said they needed to respond, and they have.
Clinical play. Clinical play. A brilliant rolling maul. That's what Worcester can do when they get their detail right, when they can put the ball in straight of the line out, get their body positions correct. Like you say, Johnny, a little bit high at times, but actually got the nudge on and managed to drive their legs all 8 in and got themselves across the line. A really good finish.
They took their time, didn't they? Patience here. I mean, there's plenty of internationals in there, isn't there? Karis Phillips, the one who burst through. She very experienced in the middle of all of that. The Welsh hooker.
Yeah, showed her experience, looked after it at the back of the maul, making sure she was patient and rumbled herself over.
Reasonable genes, hasn't she, Karis Phillips?
Not bad.
Father was a dual international rugby union, rugby league.
I've always been impressed with Karis Phillips, a great player, really, really outstanding pedigree of a rugby player.
Now, it does have that one charged down. She was taking time out to reset. Sale were asking the question if they could come out and charge it down. And Paris Redding, who else? Sharp of mind and fleet of foot, and charges down the kick, and it remains 12-5.
Love that intent from the players, you know, when they've got that real edge to them to understand the laws, know what to do, ask the question to the referee, get themselves out there and charge that down. That could be a really, really crucial 2 points, so love it when players have got that intention.
I seem to remember Rocky Clark doing it for England. I mean, against Canada at the Stoop.
She's certainly a player of that mindset, isn't she?
Sharp of mind.
Absolutely.
You're talking about fleet of foot.
Oh, feet, but a bit of both, Johnny, probably.
And then that's one of those, they call it a coach killer, don't they? You would know. You get the try, the third set piece, the restart, and you get it wrong, and then Sale and have an attacking opportunity just inside the Worcester 22.
Yeah, feeling Yappy's frustration there. Like you say, you do something really good, your momentum should be high, you should be really switched on, and suddenly then somebody switched off and you've given a penalty away, and now you're back in your own 22.
Cracking start though, isn't it? Great first quarter, 3 tries. Sale coming out of the blocks very quickly indeed.
Yeah, it's just took Worcester longer, hasn't it, to get into the game, but you know, I feel that they've got their edge back now and see what they can do with it.
Irwin. Big part of this club, works for the club, brand manager. Been here from the beginning. That's a point worth making, isn't it? Embryonic in terms of how old this side is.
Yeah, steeped in tradition, and it's really, really good news for Sale that they've managed to get that place this week, because you know we needed some rugby in the north, didn't we, Johnny?
Certainly did. The panel certainly thought so. That was the recommendation.
Otherwise, us Leicester Tigers would have been the most northern team.
You'd speak to anyone from the north east, they'd say that was the south, the deep south.
I think
sure.
most people think we are. I think up here.
Scotland, as far as I'm concerned.
Johnny, wasn't that fast travel.
Vicky Owen slices it through. Worcester have got it back, and importantly so as well. Another conceding there straight after getting on the scoreboard yourself. It's a full-blooded affair, this, isn't it?
Yeah, very physical at the breakdown, which is brilliant to see. That's really important that both teams, you know, show their physicality. It's a great take under pressure there as well.
Just trying to get through. It's Thorpe. Pass just came off a leg, and then it's back with Worcester again, and Karis Phillips involved with Wales's World Cup campaign. To those quarter-finals, of course, against New Zealand.
Worcester are gaining momentum. They're starting to look like a little bit more lively, as they've got absolutely smashed back, but a really, really good lively piece from Worcester.
Grievous alert to that one, the Sale Shark scrum half. Just driving back.
Nice box kick. Goes up high. And well taken.
It's Thorpe again who gets Lydia Thompson. She, world-class player, possibly even the best in the world at identifying when to come in and when not to come in. Defensively, as I say, one of, if not the best ring in the world.
Yeah, it's just positional and just being aware of that position. I think you gain that through experience, Johnny, and just being in the right place at the right time just comes from loads and loads of experience.
Missed touch again, Worcester second time. Delaney, very polished fullback. The rear gunner for Sale, Lewis. Had the call, didn't she? Off the shoulder. Brinker. Phillips, nice hands again to Evans, the front row, working in tandem. Yamamoto. Thompson. Thought she had her, and then there's the power and the strength from Lydia Thompson. That is what Lydia Thompson is all about. Brilliant to see her back and scoring tries, which she loves to do.
It was a fantastic finish from Lydia Thompson. We can't underestimate. She's just taken about 4 players on, beating them in her footwork and in her power, and driven across the line. Some great handling ability by Worcester, some really good link-up play with the forwards, and then hand it over to Lydia Thompson. There she goes, in, out, 2 handoffs, 3 handoffs, and then straight over the line. Lydia Thompson is back.
It's that fend, isn't it? I mean, she's not a big, huge, she's not a Cat Merchant style winger. She's not tall and rangy and looks very, very powerful. small, diminutive, but that handoff is so strong.
Solid, isn't it? I have actually been on the wrong end of a Lydia Thompson handoff back in the day, Johnny. And I do remember it really, really well. So yeah, she's just developed a game over the years, but she's always had that really offensive, really, really well-rounded handoff.
She has been playing a while.
If she's been playing with me, she must have been.
Yamamoto, better strike from her, but still the flag stayed down. But that's a better looking scoreboard for the Worcester Warriors. 12 points to 10. The University of Worcester Warriors, of course.
Some just super handling. You know, the front three there to be handling the ability to handle the ball, but also the confidence to do it in that tight space. That was really impressive from the front row, and they actually set up that try. It's almost one for the front row union. Maybe not.
So strong, that fend. Take Travis. Canadian international. This player as well. Playing in centres today. Lydia Thompson outside. Washington indecisive. Sarah Clare and a Young came across, and in the end Worcester do get their penalty.
Yes.
The momentum in this game just swinging the way now of Worcester in their coral and white kit. Is that coral?
I think this is coral, yeah.
Like your
I
scarf.
like it. Yeah, I do love that colour. Looks good on you.
Fire it out. Fire out as high as you can go.
Yeah, just a bit inexperienced on Mr. Washington there. Don't know really what she was doing, a little bit of indecision, and then to fling that ball out, not sensible and sort of in centre field. Worcester taking the opportunity to pin them back deep in their 22. So yeah, really poor error from Washington after, you know, some really good additional parts of play that she's had today. Oh, that little girl.
Phillips needs to get the arrows right here.
The ball is...
Sherman. Often a line-out beacon for Worcester.
Really well organised maul there. Excellent structure to it.
And there they go again. And it's Karis Phillips again. A double for the hooker. And Worcester Warriors take the lead for the first time. What a game.
It's a great game, and momentum really has shifted, hasn't it, Johnny? It's now very much in Worcester's favour, but all they've done is just tweak a little bit of strategy, made sure they've looked after the ball, stayed tight, and they've attacked where they know they're strong. And in that line-out driving maul, they've really got the detail right, and the way they've, you know, created that attacking formation, stayed really tight in their body angles, just stayed patient in the back. Karis Phillips, really clever play, and just touches down across the line. She'll be pleased with a brace this early on in the game.
Well, she'll have a try, Karis Phillips. Yamamoto adds the 2 as well. Yeah, 4 tries coming into this game, Karis Phillips. There's another couple added to it. Hattrick against DMP. That lady had some issues with a visa, all that's been going on with the club. She's had some time away, but back in the fold at 10. Minori Yamamoto.
Yeah, some lovely pieces of handling ability today, seen some really good control of the game, and I think she's going to grow into this game as the game progresses on.
Abby Kershaw. Goal last week. Still happy place on the bench today. There's Kat McNanny on her birthday is at fullback with Yamamoto at 10. Well, see as Thompson come away. Delaney, very unlike her. Put a big tackle, didn't she? Sherman, and it's Phillips again. Bring Kat down this short side. All action, blindside flanker. Then Lewis and Evans. Bit between their teeth here, Worcester. Just as I said, that's been turned over.
That was a great strip, but apparently illegal. I'm just trying to work out why. Holding on in the tackle. Okay, not releasing the tackler.
Don't let that heel drag.
I thought it was a pretty good steal for me. But good 7, walks back, doesn't argue, gets on with the play.
She's all action, isn't she? Georgie Paris-Redding. 4 caps for the USA now, one of the leaders of this Sale side.
Yeah, they've got a cracking back row amongst them, just really tenacious and just really on fire today. I think that's been part of their whole strategy, just really getting the back row firing.
Paris-Redding, Washington. Against Pink Cap, Haley Wright and Brown. Joe Brown. Now Ireland international, there's Steph Evans. Very evident. This opening half an hour. Yamamoto. Faris. Excellent World Cup, the Canadian international really did. Big part of a brilliant rise in that tournament down in New Zealand. There's Flo Long.
Canada were really impressive, weren't they, in the tournament? It was one of the teams that really came to fruition.
Up downfield. Nanny. And then Laughlin, who has been in sparkling form, one of the wingers of the league so far.
It was really clever play, just kept her feet, held the ball in enough time for her support to get there. Fantastic winger play.
And then it's a good drive from the forwards as well. Fionn Lewis is fizzing around, isn't she? She's asking plenty for a runner zone, and that looks high.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I don't think the ref's got that one.
Yamamoto may well have been unsighted, the referee, to that tackle. Certainly not the assistant referee on this near side, but no movement of a flag. Worth noting as well, perfect conditions here. It's a soft underfoot, no wind at all.
Really good carry there. So feisty in the contact, making sure the physicality is there every contact.
Haley Wright knew it was coming. Left the ball for Howard. The assistant referee having a word with the referee. I don't think any other action's going to be taken. Certainly wasn't clear straight on the head, but referee having a word with Paris-Redding just to say, let's get those tackles down.
Yeah, and it's really important, you know, with everything that's going on at the moment, that we really make sure the Prem Rugby Women's League is representing those laws and making sure that we are keeping those tackles low. Player safety paramount, and it's good that the referees acknowledge that. Interesting, the scrums today. I've not had many of them. I think this is probably only the third one. Sale were dominant in the last one.
Says the former fullback.
Like to analyse the scrums, Johnny, you know me.
Howard and Thorpe's done a lot of running, the left winger, to add herself to that attacking line. Bowden. Thorpe again. The forwards get themselves involved. Paris-Redding packs a huge punch. Howard's trying to straighten. Steph Evans was there to make the tackle.
They were on a free ball from that scrum, weren't they? Gained the penalty at scrum time. So talking of scrums, Johnny, obviously really dominant in the scrum, Sale, and that's probably the second scrum penalty of today. So, you know, that shows their dominance there, and actually that's where a lot of, you know, as a former fullback, a lot of the play comes from that real set piece domination. Nod to the front row.
I'm only pulling a leg.
I played hooker once, you know, in a sevens competition. Just once. That was the closest I ever.
Only place to be. Anyway. New Sales, the number 20 international, right in line with us here, the other low commentary box. It's an excellent throw to Irwin at the tail, and here comes Molly right, taking the long route round.
Great run from the prop, really, really carries hard and works so hard on the ground.
I thought she'd run away from support, which is not a sentence you often hear with tight heads involved.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure on that call from the referee, to be honest. I think Lydia Thompson was in there and over the ball, but yeah, she's been given another chance. Unfortunately, a little bit injured though in the contact, so that was a bit of a break in play. Lydia Thompson was well over the ball then. Really, really good play from the winger, making sure she was strong, good position, got her body nice and low. And unfortunately, just didn't get the rub of the green with the referee in that one.
Have won 3 of the last 5 on the road. Worcester before they'd lost 5 on the road. It's an issue for them coming away from home. On the flip side of that, we're having a bit of an issue getting over the winners line here at home, but that's a real focus this year to make this Go-Back Stadium a fortress.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, you know, when you're creating teams and you're creating a culture around, you know, you want people to be threatened by coming to your home ground. You want people to, you know, feel that almost animosity coming to your ground because it's your home place. And I think that's really important that the coaching team build that fortress, essentially.
3 out of the 4 home games they've won so far this season. 60% of their points coming here.
That's a good start, and you know, and they can, because once you get that sort of, you know, almost dominance at home, then it just oozes and filters out to your away fixtures as well. But yeah, 100%, it's really important that they get this home fixtures right.
Keep wanting to say Hayward Road.
I nearly did as well.
It is on Hayward Road, so we're not factually incorrect.
That's a shame to see her coming off the field so early in the game.
It's Molly Wright, she doesn't look great. 3 of Scotland's World Cup games on the loose head. Only a young player, but growing with.
We said it was good conditions, right? Is the rain starting to come down now? Am I seeing things? Is there a little bit of rain?
What were you doing last night? There's no rain.
Just saw a bit of mizzle then. Or maybe you, Johnny.
Yeah. Tucked up in bed. Here comes Sailors. Quite right, Vicky McQueen. A little light Mancunian drizzle.
Drizzle. As Peter Kay would say, it's spitting.
That kind of wet rain. Howard. Just moving towards half-time here in Sale. Round 10 gang of the Premier 15s.
Another turnover by Worcester. That was a really crucial turnover in their defensive 22.
Gowron try score. Brinkat in the end takes her down. Grieve and Washington involved. Better from Sale. Swales. Oh, she's straight through again, Gregan. Second time she's found an open door right away through the middle of that ruck.
Yeah, really lively play. Just to find, one, to identify the space, and 2, to have the skills and the ability to get through. Fantastic scrum half play.
She's taking a chance to start, isn't she? On rotation with Carly Waters, the USA international. Some decent scrum halves to have in the ranks.
And you've got to take your opportunity. You've got to grab it when you can, Johnny. You know, from a playing point of view myself and a coaching one. You know, when you get the chance to get the opportunity, you finally get the start. You've really got to show yourself and not see it as pressure, but just see it as the opportunity.
In fact, 4 great scrum halves on show today. Dion Lewis and Peter Mattinson on the Worcester side. But they've gone for posts here through Lizzie Duffy, the youngster.
Yeah, good decision from Sale. The hooter's gone into overtime. Get 3 more points on the board. Great decision just before half time.
Right in front of the sticks, and Lizzie Duffy has just pushed that one on the right hand side. Flags.
Nothing wrong with the
stay
distance,
down.
was there? It was just the accuracy, and it was great. Confidence to step up and take that. But yeah, you've got to nail those shots, and that's just one little thing about Lizzie Duffy, and probably just a little bit of inexperience to get herself in the zone, make sure she's set, because that was big bread and butter for her.
Still some time left, the embers of this first half. It's a little wet out there. And I'll be straight off to opticians on the way home. Morrissey.
Really strong carries from Sale. When they get this detail right, when they just take ball in motion and go across the game line, they look really strong. Just when they try and force the offload, they've been struggling.
Yeah, with these conditions, may well just keep it slightly tighter. Tried to go quickly, didn't she, Greaves?
Yeah, I felt the frustrations from here. I just love it when scrum halves tap and go, and then when they get pulled by the referee, it's really annoying.
It's 4.5 centimetres away from the mark. Could you come back, please?
Oh, come on, Sarah. I was talking to you. I was in your ear. But mate, you wasn't happy.
I suspect, from a captain's and coach's point of view, they may well have preferred the outcome, which is Lizzie Duffy has made really sure with that touch finder, isn't she? And we're right through that 22 of Worcester, and an opportunity here right at the death of this first half.
Yeah, real focus on this line out, get the arrows right, get the detail right, and finish with some points.
One of Atwood's ever present try scorer last week against Gloucester Heartbreak. She's right in the middle of this one. It's Irwin who comes away.
Free ball.
Still with Sale though, and they do keep it tight.
It's great width from the wingers on this near side, just to keep the width, hold the width, create opportunities out wide.
Penalty coming to Sale again. They tried to go through the middle. The referee did have his arm out for a moment. Wouldn't know if he's just get that down, but the penalty is there. There it is again, Irwin. There she is again.
Really patient build-up from Sale here, just keeping it tight.
Similarly, great defence from Worcester, but the hand has gone to the pocket. Worcester player has been yellow carded. Wait to see who that is. Just a vague point towards the pack. It's one of those team ones, isn't it? It's Flo Long, isn't it, I think? The tight head, just jogging behind the post there.
Yeah, that's a shame for Flo Long. She's been really, really impactful in this first half, and I think she's just got the wrath of, yeah, it was one of you lot. team penalties, get off the field.
Made the job harder for Worcester now.
Got another advantage.
They won't need the advantage because they've squeezed over. Somehow, somebody has got the ball over the line in that melee of bodies, and Sale have levelled things up.
Just pure patience from Sale there. Really good play. Very, very knowledgeable and experienced to play the referee, make sure they were keeping it tight. They knew they had the advantage, and they just managed to claw their way over somehow. We still can't quite see who the try scorer is, but somebody got themselves over the line, and a cracking try from real patient play from Sale. Build-up was brilliant to that, Johnny. Just looked after the ball, taking the ball to gain line, looking after the detail. Just a great finish and a perfect timing for Sale as they approach, which will be half-time.
I think it was one of the second rows, but have a look at that at half-time. as we analyse this incredibly eventful first 40 minutes, as Duffy right from the touchline. And that is it. That is the opening 40 minutes gone. Against Sale Sharks at the University of Worcester Warriors, and it's 17 points apiece with Lizzie Duffy missing that final conversion. But what a half of rugby. It's been brilliant, hasn't it? It's
been an absolutely brilliant game. You know, you can't fault it from a neutral perspective. What a game. The momentum swung both ways, very much in Sale's favour as they came out and really took the game by the scruff of the neck. Then there was a little bit of a dip from them. Worcester came back into the game with real details. Really impressed with the precision of, you know, realising that actually they needed to get territory and possession. They needed to utilise their line-out, driving line-out, and they got themselves back in the game. Fantastic game for the neutral, and I think both coaches will have a lot of positives to talk about.
So 17 all at half-time. Let's have a look back at the highlights from the first half, and it's just a brilliant start from Sale, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just so quick, wasn't it? They played really quick ruck speed, and they took the ball to gain line. They asked questions of the defence and managed to break through very early doors with that really good try, probably in the first few minutes. The carries were strong. Players were looking for space and looking for, you know, edges on the defensive.
And it was all Sale at this moment, wasn't it? Plenty of power, that precision to go with it as well, and then added to that Howard try, just kept coming and coming, Sale, didn't they?
What's really good is they were literally, that every time they're looking for contact, they're trying to break their hands free, make sure they're available for that offload, and that's the way Sale want to play. They want to play with that high tempo offloading game, but the hard work's done in the leg drive into contact, in that pre-footwork, pre-contact. You see it from this one as well. So this try here where you've got flankers linking in the back line, you've got an excellent footwork and power game from the winger to get herself over the line. Another really good try.
It really was. At that point it was 12-0 to Sale. Get this patient build-up of Sale, winning that battle of the breakdown, and it really has been the key part of this game, isn't it?
Yeah, we can't underestimate Washington's contribution to that try. You know, the fact that she cleared that breakdown so effectively just gave room outside for those outside players to create that try opportunity.
That's the first try of the campaign. Ali Bowden.
Yeah, Bowden's just so strong, so powerful, so very nimble in her footwork, but actually got that power game as well. This is the first Worcester, well, no, sorry, the first Worcester no try, where it should have been, because that was excellent defence there, cover tackle by Duffy to make sure that she didn't get the try down. You know, not good from the winger to not be able to score that try, but actually probably just a really good defensive effort.
Yeah, superb from Duffy, wasn't it?
Just to get across, to make the tackle, like I said in commentary, going high, wrapping the ball up, and just making sure that was a no 5-pointer. And this is just clinical. Just a brilliant rolling ball, really good detail. Get themselves across the line.
It was almost deja vu from the meeting back in round 2 between these two. Worcester Warriors imperious with the line out time, and Karis Phillips, as often is the way in the world of rugby, isn't it? The hooker right at the back there, driving the bus.
Yeah, just great vision. She's steering it. She knows where everyone is. Everyone's talking in there. They're remaining tight. Their body positions are good. And it's just training ground stuff. When it comes off, when you get your detail right, really good weapon to use. Impressive stuff from Worcester.
Yeah, it's been impressive physically this game. We expected nothing less, but between these two, it hasn't been great off the tee. Best conversion that from Yamamoto, but this was a brilliant score.
Yeah, I love this front row union try. I keep saying that. I mean, Lydia had a bit to do, but look at that interpass in between the front row, and then just some lovely hands, quick draw and pass, and then Lydia's got 1, 2, 3 defenders that she smashes out of the way with that brilliant left-hand fend to go over the line.
Yeah, fabulous to see the England winger back doing what she does best.
Yeah, Yamamoto gives a really quick ball, and then great decoy run, and Lydia Thompson just does what she does best, which is pretty much steamroller 3 players as she goes over the line.
45 tries and 58 caps, Lily Thompson. That's the reason why. And then we're back to the line out, aren't we? Karis Phillips notching up her second.
Yeah, and again, just really clinical. You can't really say more about it. They're tight, they're engaged, they're making sure they're communicating. You can see that it's all just going to plan, and that's a clinical driving line out ball. And why wouldn't you use that weapon when you've got the opportunity to use it again?
Well, it hurt some people at the World Cup, didn't it? But not here today.
But not here today. Hey, to get the points on the board, that's all they need to do, and Joey Apple will be happy.
Yeah, and that took Worcester into the lead. That try from Phillips. Yamamoto added the 2 as well. It was 12-17 at that stage. Duffy then missed the penalty, and then it just came back the other way, didn't it? Back to Sale. That's Flo Long getting herself in the wrong place. Referee giving the yellow card.
Yeah, and just the patient build-up. You know, they had probably 4 or 5 minutes of possession where they just kept being relentless. They were knocking on the door, and in the end, the try came. And really good, clever play from Sale. Really patient and showing experience, probably beyond some of the years of the players there.
And that is Georgie Paris-Redding.
Paris-Redding made it. Yeah, it was really hard to identify in real time, but yeah, Paris-Redding just got herself so low. Really, really impressive skill to get herself that low at the height that she comes in at, to get herself that low and get herself propelled momentum-wise across the line. Really good skill set from second row. Yeah,
and that was three tries a piece, making it 17-all. Duffy unable to get the conversion, and it is well, there's nothing between the two teams, isn't there, at half-time. But Ashley's now grabbed one of the Sale players, Laura Perrin, down there on pitch side. Over to you, Ashley.
Thanks very much, Johnny. Yes, I'm here with Laura. I mean, quite an intense half, very back and forth, as it were. What did you make of it?
I thought the girls started off really well. We clearly capitalised by getting 2 tries early on, but obviously Worcester coming back into it, I think, swung momentum quite a lot. We spoke about earlier about the impact that momentum can have, and I think obviously when you get maybe something like a foothold in the game like that, sometimes you just find yourself on the back foot. But I think really good from our perspective to score just before the half time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, that was great. We were also joined by Vicky. Vicky, come
hi there. I'm in the wrong place.
By
running over.
No, then I can look at both of your beautiful faces. Thanks for running over.
That's okay. I'm not out of breath.
I mean, Vicky, Sale had a great start. For the first 15-20 minutes, it was all them. They scored 2 tries, then they brought it back in just before half time there. What do you make of it all?
Oh, it's a fantastic game. For the neutral, we were just saying in commentary, an amazing game, full of tempo, but so impressed with the way Sale came out. You know, you guys just came out with the intent to play, and that's what's really exciting about this team. You know, making sure you're dominant in the collisions, making sure you're quick tempo ball from the ruck. Is that an intention as part of the game?
Yeah, definitely. I think we always knew it was going to be a big game. It's one of the ones that we've been targeting for quite a while. So there's been a lot of a lot of build going into this week, building on the past 3 or 4 weeks, and it's all for this reason. And they said, like, in a big game like this, you just want to come out firing straight away, and it's what we've done.
Yeah,
it is a big game, and it can be won or lost by very small margins. And of course, Lizzie Duffy did miss that penalty, and that could, you know, prove vital come the end of the match.
Yeah, every little bit counts, doesn't it? And it, you know, it was a shame because she stood up, you know, to the challenge, took the opportunity to take the penalty, and just not quite on the radar.
I'm sure we'll see her getting a boot back on form in the second half, though.
But it is, you know, it's fair to Lizzie Duffy. She's only 20 years old. She's really young. She's stepping up to the plate, and it's a pressured environment, isn't it?
It is, and I think she's had a really good game in terms of controlling the game, you know, bringing players on outside her, and you can tell the way you guys are trying to play, and it's great to see her moving the ball out wide.
I think she's a real talent. 20 years old, she's got a really good read of that game. As I said, that decision making at the line, I think it's one of her biggest strengths, and she's definitely shown it today. Yeah,
she's playing on the game line, isn't she? And just making sure that she brings other players outside, and just real sleight of footwork, sleight of hand to create the opportunity out wide. Really impressive from Lizzie Duffy today.
And with set piece as well, Sale, you know, they're really capitalising on that. We haven't had many scrums, albeit, but you know, a few penalties there as well.
Yeah, I think our front row have worked really, really hard to give that sort of that area of the game, that foothold that we need to be able to give us the chance to play that ball and to play wide. Is that platform is irreplaceable. If you don't have it, then sometimes you're struggling to make front foot ball. But then when we do have it, then we're firing. And I think today is a great platform to play from.
We've identified a really quick ruck ball from Sale. Is that something that you've really worked on in training?
Yeah, we really like to enjoy playing with that quick ruck speed, just to kind of give ourselves that time on the ball to be able to tap that line, and instead like to play to the edge.
Brilliant.
So it might have been Sale that started things, but Worcester Warriors, they did manage to find some answers and score, 3 tries, 2 from Karis Phillips. Now Karis Phillips has already scored 3 odd hat-tricks so far this season. Potentially we're going to see one today.
Yeah, she's on a brace already, isn't she? And in great detail, we talked about in commentary, the line-out detail, the way that Worcester have been able to really streamline those driving mauls is potentially, you know, a really good weapon for them. So it'll be interesting to see whether they utilise that again in the second half.
Yeah, what do you think is going to be said in the changing room at the moment that you're missing out on? I'm sorry about that.
You're quite all right. I think the biggest thing, just ensuring that we're reacting to what's going on around us. Sometimes ball might not have gone to hand, especially when they're exiting their lines. I think just making sure we're getting underneath it, not giving them that the territory gain that obviously they like to play. I think in defence as well, just making sure we keep on coming up off the line, making those dominant shots, and then just being able to keep on coming at them from there. The Sale Sharks where we like to play.
What are you expecting from the second half?
Do you know, it's a game for two. It could go either way, but I think they both players. It will just be how it took the first part that they come out and how they take the game from by the scruff of the neck. Essentially, can somebody just put their mark on it like you guys did in the first half? It's whoever comes out and creates those big shots. Who's going to make that big hit? Who's going to make that big driving line out? You know, who's going to really take ownership of the game? And I think it will be to see what happens.
Because the middle of the table, it's pretty congested at the moment, isn't it? There's only a few points separating a lot of the teams.
Yeah.
Is that something you're talking about, or you're just focusing on playing the game?
Yeah, week by week you just focus on what's there, the challenge that faces that week, how we're going to play, and most importantly thinking about us. And that's the most important thing each week.
And that's really important from a playing point of view. You know, it's the squad that really focuses inwards. What can we do? How can we control the game? And that's really important. That all the coaches will be talking about half time is what can we do next? The next 5-10 minutes of the game, what do we need to focus on? That little bit of detail, and it'll be whoever really controls the game in that sense that will win the game.
Laura, it did feel like you came out firing. Do you think that's got anything to do with the news this week that, of course, you do have that conditional offer to rejoin the league next season? You know, what's it been like to receive that news?
I mean, with the original news, it just brought us closer together as a squad, and you can see how much it means to every single one of the girls, even the girls that have come in from far away, this is their home, this is where we want to play our rugby, and ultimately it keeps us firing, keeps us wanting more and more and more and expecting more, because ultimately there needs to be rugby in the north to give us that foothold and to keep that pathway going as well, because hashtag Northern Rugby Matters.
Yes, exactly, and it does, doesn't it? It really is
so important. You know, and we're thrilled as Leicester Tigers to be in that league and make sure we're in that Premiership, but we need rugby in the north as well, and it's so important that the demographics right. So it's really exciting to have 10 teams in the league and see what happens for next year, but all exciting times.
And one of those 10 teams is Leicester Tigers, Vicky.
Yes,
so you must be thrilled.
I'm really thrilled. The hard work that's gone into it. I mean, you guys know, the process, that 18 months of hard work, just galvanising the team at Leicester Tigers. The girls really deserve that shot, and I couldn't be more happy to be across the line and in that Premiership for next year. And what an exciting Premiership it'll be. 10 fantastic teams going at it. Great spectator, audience to come and have a look at what this rugby's all about.
Yeah, Laura, it must be really exciting to now be able to really build, really enjoy playing rugby, and also look forward to next season. And a lot can happen between now and then, can't it?
It certainly can. We're looking forward to just being able to go and keep on improving, keep on making our mark, and knowing that ultimately, whatever happens this season, we keep on firing and going into next season even stronger than we came into this one.
And of course there's going to be an international break very soon, so that could open up the league even more.
Absolutely, it's a really exciting time for women's rugby, isn't it? Just the international programme, the Premiership, taking shape. Yeah, it's just so exciting for women's rugby, and for me it's just about getting that spectator traction, getting more people to come down and see what this game's about, because there's some great talent on show out there today, and the more people that see it, the more people that can experience it.
Exactly. You're going to be watching the Six Nations, any of it later on?
I certainly am, yeah. Probably glued to the TV for a little while.
Or in the clubhouse. Yeah, exactly. That sounds sounds like a good place to be. It's very much a vibe in there,
Yes,
Vicky.
good vibe. I think I might join you actually. I'm not going to get back to Leicestershire in time.
Thank you so much for your time, Laura. Vicky, if you go join Johnny back in commentary.
Thank you very much.
Obviously, I mentioned that there's a Six Nations on its way for the women, TikTok Women Six Nations. Do make sure to buy your tickets, get involved. Yeah, tell them, buy your tickets.
Buy your tickets, get involved, get down, support your team.
Let's take a look at what you can enjoy. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. Don't miss out on the chance to buy tickets. You can be there in Newcastle, Northampton and London. Head to englandrugby.com/tickets for more information. More than 30,000 already sold for that game at Twickenham. What a Six Nations it promises to be. If a lot of these players can take this form from this Premier 15s, which just gets better and better and better, they can take that into the international Six Nations. It will be brilliant. The latest scores then from around the league this round 10. Exeter thumping of DMP. Gloucester Hartbury squeezed past Bristol. Saracens couldn't score against Worcester as we expect. And 17 all here between Sale and the University of Worcester Warriors.
Be interesting to see who's had that really positive team talk at half time, who's going to come out firing and who's prepared to make that first shot to see what they can put their stamp on this game.
It's 0-0, isn't it, effectively? I mean, Flo Long is on the naughty step right in front of us.
Yes, just for 6:30 left on the naughty step.
Advantage to Worcester. Oh, scrappy line out. Yamamoto edges Worcester forward. Just wonder whether Worcester might just go to the boot a little bit more in this second half, just to keep that pressure back on Sale in terms of territory at least.
Yeah, I think the territory game is a sensible option from Worcester, and Yamamoto has got a decent boot and can do that. Would have probably liked a little bit more distance on that kick, but pushing them back, keeping Sale pinned back in their own half is probably the best way for Worcester to remain in this game.
Exciting first 40 minutes, 6 tries in all. Washington comes down with the ball. Heartbroken to not be involved with Rob Kane's World Cup plans. That lady was there, Georgie Perez-Redding, and she is the phantom try scorer, that third Sale try. Thorpe, lovely, brilliant from Thorpe. Just put it in the space. Bowden, Irwin, Delaney was there, so was Green. That's brilliant interplay between the two wingers.
It's fantastic, wasn't it? Just really kept the ball alive. Everything was done at pace, kept the ball in motion, and just those cheeky little offloads are great play from Sale. Just the footwork, the detail to draw those two defenders in, then get that ball outside, and the presence of mind to be able to put the ball into two hands and offload inside. Brilliant play from Sale.
Now it's Sale's turn to miss touch from the penalty.
Little moments like that, they can be crucial.
Worcester did it a couple of times in the first half. It's a real shame. So Holly Thorpe has come whizzing around off her opposite wing to create that opportunity. Spark of excitement.
Yeah, Duffy just put a hand up there and said, yeah, my bad. But yeah, you just got to get in the zone, like a penalty kick, like all those little things she's got to get right to be that next step up.
Catherine Benson is the replacement for Holly Wright, USA international, in the front row there on the tight head.
Interested if that changes the dynamic in the scrum. So we didn't have many in the first half time.
Anika Gonvi is on for Worcester as well. Their loose head. Carmen Tremelling, of course, is there due to Flo Long.
Great pressure at the scrum breakdown there.
Yellow carded. Grieve catches Lewis.
Greaves having a great game. Really, really intense. Round the breakdown, making decisions. Really impressive all-round display.
That's competition within the squad, isn't it, between her and Katie Mattinson.
Yeah, it'll be interesting when we see her entrance into the game, if we do.
When speaking to very lovely Ashley Wilmot before the game, Joe Yapp said that leadership from Katie Mattinson, one of the co-captains, isn't she? It's that leadership in the final part of this game. Both coaches saying to me this week, in amongst the flower ranging, this is going to be tight, and lo and behold.
It's as if they know what they're talking about, Johnny. 17 all. Yeah, couldn't be tighter, could it? And I think
fighting talk ahead of next season, isn't it? That kind of chat.
I think you're right there, Johnny. They need to make sure that, you know, they bring on that experience at some point, but it's just making that decision. When will that be? When do they want to start to close the game out?
Are you watching this thinking, oh my goodness, I can't wait to be involved? Or is it a little bit daunting when you see such a physical game? I mean, yeah, there's some moments here of the players with pop on the edit room floor, but there's some brilliant moments as well.
Yeah, some really good moments. To be honest, I get excited by a challenge, Johnny, so no, I'm really excited for next year.
No,
Do you think I might be? No, I'm really excited. At the end of the day, you know, we know we're working towards that premiership, and we've got 6 months now, you know, left of our sort of this year's programme, and the girls are developing, the S&C is going really well. So yeah, for me, it's just all about just every time we step on a field, a training field or a rugby playing field, that we get better and better, and the girls have really took that on board.
Leicester and Ealing, of course, were confirmed pre-Christmas for the new Premier 15s season. Now, conditionally, Worcester understanding it towards the sort of stadium, and of course what's been going on with the men's side, and got to have a venue, haven't you, and it's got to sign and be sealed and all the rest of it by the RFU that it's capable of hosting these games, and I think that's just a matter of time before that is sort of sealed over with Jim O'Toole and James Stanford.
Yeah, it's great to see them both back in the league. It makes it more exciting. There's 10 teams. Yeah, more of a spectator, excitement for the spectators.
Yeah, Joe Yapp's been talking to the new owners of Worcester Warriors, been approved their bid, that consortium headed by those two. Will be supported by the RFU to help grow the game here, and he's scratching the surface so far as Swales goes through. Oh, look at the pace of the hooker!
Wow, what a change of pace and a great cover tackle, but that was impressive from a hooker to have that turn of pace, that ability to put the afterburners on. Fantastic.
What an outside break! That's extraordinary.
Really good ball carrying ability, you know, just to spot the gap, one, two to be in the right place, and then literally to be able to put the afterburners on. Little fun there, no, didn't even need it. Got the wheels. A great cover tackle by Lydia Thompson.
Imagine the excitement. I've just done an arcing run around a World Cup winner. Oh no, she's chasing me down.
No, she came back. She had a moment of glory.
Had to, mind. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that wouldn't look good on a reel, would it?
Here comes Sale, though. They, rather like in the first half, got a bit between their teeth in the opening exchanges here. Got a penalty coming anyway. Still against 14, 17 apiece. There's that penalty now, and Worcester will have to be careful.
Yeah, they've got 50 seconds left on their original sin bin. They don't want somebody else going back in the sin bin. Just need to have a word, just being really clever around the breakdown, just not putting yourself in a position where you're going to give the penalty away. You've got to talk to the referee, you've got to make sure you're squeaky clean around there.
Still quite upright, Sale. Decided to take it quickly. And again they've squeezed over in the melee of bodies. Sale of the first score of this second half.
Yeah, brilliant play by Sale again. Just a patient build-up, just being really, really clinical, making sure they're just taking the yards, take the quick tap, and just make sure you look after the ball. And that's all you need to be doing in that close contact area, staying physical, fighting the battle, staying strong on your feet, and then making sure you dot the ball over the line at the appropriate moment. And there was nothing that Worcester could do about that. Low body position, really good try. And again, we can't quite cock the number.
Yes, Catherine Benson.
Catherine Benson, great try.
Wasn't it? Owen's taken over the kicking duty. 1 from 4, I'd say, from his Duffy in that first 40 minutes. A 44th Premiership appearance today for Vicky A. Irwin. Oh, that's better from the tee.
Yeah, maybe just taking the responsibility away from Duffy's, it will allow her to focus on the rest of her game, but a really classical strike from Vicky A. Irwin. Lovely 2 points on the board.
Benson started last week. There's a bit of rotation here at Sale. It's a really, really tough block. 11-12 games on the spin before a month break.
Yeah, and that's a huge job for the managers and the coaches, just to really manage those situations, making sure players got the right game time, making sure they're not burnt out.
See what Kara Shudding was trying to do there, just to get that ball away to Washington. Morrissey's come off the field. And Sale trying to steal this ball, because Gonway is the lady who dropped it originally, so that knock on has not been taken. Now the referee smiling, puts a hand out to say advantage to Worcester.
There's plenty to choose from in there, wasn't there? A few knock-ons, a few little offsides, but back in Worcester's possession.
Cox. Nicely off the shoulder, Yamamoto. Ferris.
That was brilliant line speed from Sale. Wow, brilliant line speed and the turnover as well. That was fantastic defence from Sale.
Now Sale get a full penalty as well. Just winning the battle of that breakdown. And whoever's winning that battle at the moment, during this game, is scoring the tries. It's as simple as that.
Simple, isn't it? You know, but win the physicality at the breakdown. Be on the ball as quickly as you can, line speed in defence, and just making sure that you're just being clinical in those tight areas. But a really great turnover, good defensive set from Sale, and a brilliant turnover resulting in their penalty.
Bonus point already secured for Sale Sharks.
I think we've got another injury, yeah. 2. Was it in that last collision? Oh no, back on her feet.
Yeah, talk about that 11-week block with effectively an amateur squad, isn't it? Worcester, you think that DMP away, went to Saracens away, and then home, of course, last week, and then away to Sale. Even the travel itself really does take it out of you off the back of a full week at work.
It does, 100%. You know, as you know, Johnny, I've been there in that amateur era and semi-professional with a little P, and it's tough for these guys. You know, they're working so hard off field on their game, their strength conditioning. They're trying to manage jobs, they're trying to manage family. They're spinning plates all over the place. So to be able to put on the performances they do on the field is testament to how hard they work.
Here. Brilliant angle. Owen looking around now, just needed someone just a touch closer. Thorpe is there, just picks it up. Howard, quick hands. Delaney. Little switch ball. Back inside. Green. She's had a brilliant game and tops it off with another score for the home team.
What a try by Grieve. as the bangs go around the stadium. Wow, that was phenomenal play. Just the interplay, the way that they were changing their angles, their running lines, taking players on, taking the ball in motion. That was a phenomenal try. Team try from Sale, finished off by the one and only Grieve, who's having an absolute stormer today. Just that lovely line, looking for the opportunity for the offload. It wasn't on, she looked after it. There was a little bit of a spilt ball, but really aware to be able to pick the ball up. Moving the ball through the hands, a lovely interplay. Switch off the wing, and then just the strength and power and tenacity really to score that try. And that's what it meant to Sale.
What a great score. Sale just putting some daylight, aren't they? 12 points. See them and Worcester now, and this could make it 14.
We did say at half-time it was who's going to come out again like they did in that first half. Can they do the same thing? They've managed to replicate that intensity, and they've put some points on the board.
Well, it's 12-0, wasn't it? Beginning of the first half to Sale. It's a mirror image. This time it's 14 points.
Yeah, just intention, Johnny. They've come out to take this game by the scruff of the necks. They're hitting every ruck, they're smashing the gain line, they're taking ball in motion, all those real simple basics that you need to do to play a good game of rugby. Sale are absolutely doing that.
We're really close to the pitch, and you can hear the communication. The noisiest teams are normally the best teams, aren't they?
100%.
Sale's communication to the ball handler has been exemplary.
Yeah, there's a real just good aura about them at the moment. They're all confident, you can feel it, you can sense it from the sideline.
Howard, dummy from her. Used to say Rachel McLaughlin is on the field wearing 23.
Washington's so powerful, isn't she? Just carries the ball so well.
Nicola Howard as well. To that second row alongside Antois.
You've got to roll away when you're asked to roll away by the referee. Not sensible by the Worcester 8. Jo Brown, sorry, took me a moment to get my brain in gear. She's had a good game as well, but just the detail, you know, when you've made that really good tackle, you've got to roll away, you've got to get yourself out that tackle zone. The referees will be all over you.
Yes, Morrissey's made way in the second row. And Irwin in the back row, so you look back row, McLaughlin, Paris Redding and Washington.
It's not a bad back row, that is it?
Yeah, capped 31 times by Scotland. Former Scottish judo champion as well, so I don't waste my evenings.
Plenty of attributes, strings to her bow and good knowledge, Johnny. It's funny they've opted for a scrum there, but interesting decision.
To go for the scrum, the penalty. They're trying to get that offload away. Should be fully aware of Vicky Owen. Here Owen on the field now. She helps Katie Mattison's come on at scrum half for Worcester. First box kick of hers has gone straight out on the full.
And not a great first touch, but yeah, like we said it, you know, before the game and at half time, Katie Mattison could have really offered that leadership, that experience, and you can't underestimate that in a player that's coming on of that capability. How can she galvanise the group, get the players to get back in the game, get them switched on, and get back to the levels that they're at in the end of that first half.
Top of the shot there, just a shot of Jo Yap. One of her leaders, Katie Mattison, on the field. Cap England under 20s and 7s as well before going the other side of the wall. Now she's picked up 9 caps for Scotland, made her debut against Colombia out in Dubai.
She really impresses me, Katie Masson. I think she's just got a really solid all-round game, great physicality about her as well. Really impressive and got a lot of experience, and that matters.
It's an assured air to her, isn't it?
Yeah, good summary.
Jenny Maxwell at the World Cup for Scotland, so played a big part in those group games against Wales, Australia, New Zealand. Welcome to the party there. They've got all the contracts. As Worcester just not that ball on, but an arm was in there, said the referee. And there's Matheson straight away, hands on the ball, right, let's calm things down. What do we want to do from here?
And that is exactly why she's been brought onto the field, to make those calls. Just have that presence of mind to do the right thing at the right time. And those kind of situations are so crucial to try scoring opportunities. Right decision. They're brilliant. They were brilliant in the line-out maul in the first half. Go back to basics. Do the same thing again. They're a little bit far out, but they can make some decent ground from this.
Yeah, one of the messages might have been at half-time. Let's make sure when we go to touch, and Matheson has done. Change of hooker for Sale. Katlinski's on. Jojo Katlinski. Swells. She'll be very, very pleased to watch that outside break back again and again.
I was just thinking of that. She ran off the field. I'm sure she will show her mates to that later. Not many times you run around the England winger, but to be fair to Lily Thompson, she made up for it.
Too high in there for Worcester. Now they just get a little edge on round that right-hand side. It's in the hands of Phillips again.
And again, brilliant detail around that. They were patient, they were clinical. Now they're in a great position.
Just waited for the weakness, didn't they? Sherman. Now they look on that right-hand side.
And they're not panicking, Worcester. They're rebuilding every time, and Matheson influence there is crucial.
Charlotte Harris, another introduction at half-time, wearing 20. She's in there. Another penalty to Worcester here. Now this is the time that Sale need to be really, really careful. Matheson, they just say, like, just calm things down.
Absolutely crucial. The leadership here. Go for the line out again. Let's put them back. They've got the detail right in the line out. They just need to keep plugging away. If something's brilliant, don't change it. It's not broken, so don't fix it.
Karis Phillips looking for a hat-trick here. You wouldn't bet against it.
100% wouldn't. Look at that leg drive again. The shape on that is fantastic.
Still trundling forward. Phillips breaks off to the right-hand side. She's over. She's got the hat-trick.
Well, you predicted it, Johnny. What can we say?
Go back to what they know. It served them so well earlier on in this season. It served them well in this game, and they had their opportunity. Katie Matheson said, let's just calm down and do what we know we can do.
100%. Absolutely clinical in that rolling maul. The driving line out, it's just a massive weapon for Worcester. It's been throughout the season, and today they've really noted all they've needed to do was go back to that kicking game, making sure they're pinning Sale back, get themselves in those attacking positions and utilise their strengths. 100% brilliant decision making, great leadership, and a good half-time team took by the sound of it.
We have a game on our hands, don't we? We really do. 31-22, Yamamoto. 1 from 3 so far. Scrub that, make it 1 from 4. 9 points, the difference.
And that's one area that, as a women's rugby in general, we really need to improve this kicking game, because kicks can be crucial, and those 2 minutes, 2 points there, 3 points here, and I think investment in the game and you know, those kicking coaches coming into fruition next year, I think it'll be really crucial for the Premiership to develop.
Harry Griever's off. This Duffy has come off as well. Duffy's gone to full-back. Sarah Law's coming at 10 in. Those two combining.
Yeah, it's a good call from Sale. Nice decision to put her back to full-back. Keep her on the field, but give her a bit more space.
Laughlin couldn't deal with it first time. Good strong run though, isn't it? Trademark of this season so far.
Yeah, she's really tall and physical and got a great offload. It's nice to see her in full flow.
Hayley Wright, no Alex Callender at the moment. One of a long line of injuries. Both sides suffering from. Trying to beat those finishes. Big 30 coming into this game. Charlotte Hayley Wright.
Yeah, she looks like a really good rangy athlete, Charlotte Wright. Yeah, like a, I don't know, is she from an athletics background? Looks like a sprinter to me.
We're going to say yes. She's very athletic. We'll just
leave it there.
Put a full stop there.
But brilliant offload. The fact that she could take players on, has the ability to keep the ball in two hands when it's appropriate and make that offload. She's making ground all the time. Had a really good game today.
We must also say good afternoon to Ellen Ramsbottom, known in these parts as Rambo.
It's a cool name.
For her debut in the Premier 15s. Proud day for her and any of the family watching.
Yeah, such a big deal for a player to get that shot, to be able to get on the field for that first Prem 15s cap. Really proud day for her.
I hope it's because she wears a sort of a bandana or something that she's called Rambo, not just linked to her name.
Just because of the name? Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be a nice story.
Nice something else.
Yeah, maybe we can find out a story on that.
Laughlin again. A huge amount of time with ball in hand. Opportunities, you see what a dangerous runner she is. Attinson's, it's high, it's contestable, that's what you want from a box kick. Sarah Law is out there, the Scotland out half, and has transitioned very, very quickly, haven't they here? Sale from defence to offence, as Alicia Washington would say. And Kylie Waters, the USA 9, who's now on the field for Sale as well. Let's get Linsky, and Law pulls it back for Duffy, and Howard straightens, tries to go through the gap, but Worcester are there again. Natalia John.
It's an unusual error for Howard, usually really competent on the ball, but just lost control.
Waters is absolutely thumped to the ground by the birthday girl.
It was a good shot, wasn't it? Shot was on and the shot was made. Really good offensive tackle.
It's a horrible moment, isn't it? Because you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
You can only brace yourself, but yeah, a great tackle from the fullback. But
look at the outcome of it, though. They get the penalty. Mattinson again will go into this 22. We know what Worcester can do from the line out from here.
Really clever play. All they're doing is pinning Sale back. It's a great strategy. Pin them back, get the box kicks in, get the ball as high as you can, get it back into their territory, and then gain the penalty. Brilliant play.
We talk about the small cogs, don't we, in rugby union. That's the director of rugby saying, okay, one of my leaders, you're not going to start this game, Sale, physicals team, bring you on, then start commanding things. Her box kicks have just put Worcester into this situation. Great chase, tenacity.
Yeah, all the attributes you want, and someone, you know, and you do, and it is about the full bench. It is about the full squad. I'm very for that as a coach. You know, all those finishers, and I like to call them finishers, have got an impact to play. I know you don't like that word, John, but I do.
You and Eddie Jones.
They all have an impact to make, and they have to make an impact. And you can't utilise your full squad if you've not got confidence in those players. They're going to know about it. So that you have to have confidence in your bench. You have to be able to put them on at the appropriate times, and that's all the strategy behind that DOR role.
There's a lady on hat-trick, 7 tries this season. Hayley Wright has got her crap sorted out now. She's got rid of that lactic acid. Miss Narsuik, 5 tries to her name. Hayley Wright. Phillips got back in field now though.
She just looks after the ball so well, doesn't she, Wright Phillips? She's just got that real tenacity to keep going, look after the ball and recycle it.
Harris. Faris. And that's short side again for Phillips again. Laughlin is getting some communication down that line to say, you know, this kick cross field might be on here, but Matheson again goes down that short side, just trying to work something. Through Lydia Thompson. She's up against Holly Thorpe.
And there's a real air of patience about Worcester now, and I guarantee that's just from that real emphasis on leadership and making sure they're doing the right things in the right places.
And that patience has paid off because they got into the corner. They peppered that short side, didn't they, Worcester? And it's Lydia Thompson with the latest 5-pointer for the Warriors.
Another very Lydia Thompson-esque try, brilliantly taken. Had a couple of players still to beat. Her power game shone through, but just came from the patience. Patience to be in control of the ball, know they're going to win it back. But look at that, she still had to take 3 players with her across the line. She knows her way to the trial, and that was a fantastic finish from Lydia Thompson. (31-27) conversion to come. 13 or so minutes left in this game. Plenty of time. And it's just a mirror image of the first half. It's extraordinary. Yes, isn't it? It's almost like they've wrote the script already.
Kawamoto just about had the legs. Just squeezed behind the uprights here.
Yeah, just a little bit too wide out for her, wasn't it? But it's a work on. Be interesting to see how Sale respond now, coming out from that situation. They've been pinned back. Can they play the territory game now to get their own back, or are they going to try and fling it around?
Pretty much the bench emptied for them. Just trying to see that Catherine Horton was on the field. Her 50th Premiership appearance. Waters to Washington. 2 Eagles linking up. And to us. Waters again. Nice crisp service to Law. Smashed by Sherman as well. Good game, the Worcester second row.
Yeah, she has, really good. Just been in the thick of it with everything, you know, hitting the breakdowns, all that hard, you know, dirty work that's not seen necessarily, but she's had a great game.
Yeah, and Natalia John, both the same. And Duffy just coming in at first receiver now. It's a different problem for Worcester to have to deal with. Is it Duffy or Law at first receiver?
Worcester just been ignited. Their defensive play is so much better. They're off the line, they're getting up, back on their feet, next job, and there's a real relentless attitude about Worcester in the second half.
6 times they've met. Sale only won 2.
It's interesting, Sale haven't put boot to ball. They've been through the phases and they're not getting anywhere in the centre of this field due to the Worcester defence. The line speed's been incredible.
17-24 in round 2 at Six Ways it was. First ever meeting a couple of seasons ago, 11-0 to Sale. Since then it's been all Worcester. I'd have liked losing at home. Talking to Laura Keats, who's helping out with the scrum, one of those injured Worcester Warrior players, saying they probably should have won.
It's great to see Laura Keats back involved, and potentially that coaching position. She's so influential, a great player, great person, a really good coach.
She's a lovely person, really is. Sherma into Anne Young, who's still out there at the loose end for Sale. They're taking on water here though, Sale. It's only one way at the moment, it's the way of the white and corals. The Warriors, Yamamoto pulls one right back for Cox and Laughlin. Just asking him to try and create something here. Howard, what a turnover. What a turnover.
What a turnover. Howard got ahead in a position that no one with a bit of sanity would want to put their head in the position, but that was a brilliant turnover. That's what you want from your inside centre. Incredible. Got a body so low, put a head where you wouldn't want to put it, and got a crucial turnover for Sale. Howard's had a brilliant game. A couple of errors, but on the whole, you know, that her power game, her offloading ability, defensive prowess, great all-round game.
Jemina Moss has just come on the field, like 19. Tremelling is the stayed on for so long after the yellow card. Just beginning to start to think about your player of the match, Vicky. Perhaps we'll do that at the next break of players. Sherma just receiving some treatment. You can see the Worcester Warriors players there just geeing each other up, just trying to get the excitement levels back to where they want them to be.
It's all about energy now, Johnny. Guarantee this last 10 minutes it's going to be about who can give this game the most, who wants it the most, who can empty the tank, and who can give their team the edge in these last closing minutes.
8 minutes or so left in this game. It's been such an eventful game. You know, we stand it. If it goes quickly, you know, it's an eventful game, and it is just shot by. Six tries in the first half. Another 4 in the second half, so 10 in all.
And this player of the match question is really, really a tough one today. You know, it could be, you know, from probably 8 players today. People have just put their hand up for almost for selection for me. I'm thinking, what? There's too many players out there with so much to prove and so much to say. I might need to take one more breakdown.
It's a risky throw, wasn't it? Going to tear that line out. Moss is in there. Make a nuisance of herself. Law, Howard. Steps back inside, steps one Welsh international, Harris, and then goes into Phillips, another. Benson. Anna Skeldon is prowling on the touchline. Scotland international. Hook up, waiting to come on. 4 points the difference. Just over 5 minutes left in this game. Corback Stadium here at Hayward Road in Sale, Manchester. This round 10 game. Laurie Norkin is on the field, and on the Sale bench saying that tackle was high.
I think it might have been, but I think it was unnoted.
No, it was noted by the assistant referee. May well have been helped by the vocal remonstrations by the Sale players. Didn't work when boot was on the other foot in the first half.
So crucial here, Sale have a penalty. Looks like they are going to take the sensible decision to go to touch, take the territory.
They have got to touch here.
It looks like there might be a contact lens issue. Well spotted. I always wore contacts. It's the right pain when they fall out.
Look at the house back on her feet anyway. All the eyes plugged back in.
It's a really good line-up from Sale. Clinical, taking their time on this, making sure they're driving forward.
Not had it all their own way, have they, in either half, but when they've needed to just tighten things up, that line out, for example, they've tightened it up very well indeed. Want to do the double over Worcester here. Howard. Washington now. gives that offload away. Benson, Delaney. Knocked on in the tackle. The referee says that Worcester knocked that ball on. Looks like it's going to be a Sale scrum. Going a little bit blind at this one, though, referee Mike in our ears today. And this will just please Sale, won't it? This clock ticking down.
Yeah, they've got to play the game here, right down in Worcester's half, well, deep in their 22. Make sure that they keep them down here. That's all they can do now. They're 4 points in the lead. Just got to play the territory game now to make sure this win is secured.
Washington breaks off the base of the scrum, trying to get those levers going, and she has, and that's the game. They've been so tenacious, epitomised by the lady who's just scored the winning try, you feel.
Yeah, Washington just literally sums up her game in that finish, hasn't she? She kept powerful, she stayed on her feet, her balance, to stay on her feet when she'd been tackled, to get back up to her feet, to score the try, the power game, the footwork, everything about that was crucial to that try. Brilliant score from the number 8.
It really was. Sadly, she's gone straight down as Washington.
Yeah, it looks like she might have taken a knock as she went over the line, but be a shame because she's just finished off what's been a really good game for her.
Yeah, real shame. Yeah, it didn't look nice as soon as she went down to ground. She'll be delighted to get the 5 points. Sarah Law just lines this one up. Right across the face of the post for Sarah Law. I'm not sure it will matter in the end.
So Worcester have 3 minutes. 3 minutes and a mountain to climb, 9 points. That was crucial from Sale. Really good build-up play to that. They were patient, they went for the line out, they kept the ball tight, and they powered over the line. Really good strategy from Sale.
It's just so long, isn't she, in body length, and she got those pistons going off the base of the scrum, and that's why she was selected at 8 by Rachel Taylor. Wanted to see her back at 8 earlier on, just on the halfway line. She was giving that offload, wasn't she, to progress down the field, which went into a penalty, and then eventually ended up going into that corner and scoring the try, which could be a very, very crucial try.
Yeah, she's done a lot of hard work today, a lot of unseen work, but also a lot of work, in terms of her handling ability, in terms of the tackle. Just so much about her game that's impressed me today. And it's not a good sight to see her off the field.
It's great to see her back on her feet. Alicia Washington. Yeah, it's that left shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like.
Tells straight away that that was very, very uncomfortable. We wish her all the very, very best as well. This club, this league is less without her in it. Effervescent human being. And she's still screaming, "Go get 'em, girls."
That summed her up, didn't it? Just hearing that character in absolute agony, gets back to her feet and shouts the team on. Love it.
Gareth Scotch has given them a lifeline here. Who's your player of the match then, Vicky?
And a tough one. As I said earlier, a really tough one. Could have been so many players.
Who's on the long list?
Who's on the long list? So Washington, absolutely 100%, should right up there. Caris Williams, you know, absolutely brilliant from the back of that line out every time, getting herself a hat-trick today. But I just don't think you can move away from somebody who's just really insightful, really, really dominant, particularly in the first half, in getting Sale moving, and that's Grieve at number 9.
I agree. Sale shot, starting 9. Carly Waters on there now. They get the penalty, Worcester. They get the penalty. Sinead Harris, brilliant control. Sort of Welsh spine to that Worcester scrum, isn't it? Gareth Phillips, Natalia John, and Sinead Harris.
But Mari Grieve, just that first half impact, she made probably 3 or 4 breaks through the centre field. She was tenacious around the breakdown. She tackled really well. The service to fly half was brilliant, and I think she's just got that all-round game and really had a massive impact on this game.
Jeff Brown takes it at the line out. Shermer actually, Cox straightens, so physical. Seconds left in this game, need to score now. Moss spinning and twisting. Conway is there. Phillips leaves it for Conway. She's over the line but can't get that ball down. Oh, she can! Keena Gondwy has got the 5-pointer, and Worcester Warriors are racing back to the halfway line. They want to take this conversion quickly. Is there time left in this game?
What a finish. Patient build-up from Worcester. Great intent. Now they're taking a quick drop kick to make sure they get the 2 points quickly. And is there time for a final play? It looks like there is. Excitement all around, and a brilliant finish to this game by Worcester.
For the moment, Sale have 5 points. Worcester have 2 points, scoring the 4 tries or more, of course, and being within 7 points. I suspect they would want more here.
And it looks like they've still got time. It seems the ref is playing some overtime.
You've got the time clock on our score clock.
It's about how now can they gather this restart? Can they be clinical?
Wanted to go long, and indeed they did. Good from Lydia Thompson. Oh, they get the penalty, Sale. She was isolated, wasn't she? And Sale got in there. Thorpe was there. Howard was there. And that's the turnover, surely, that gives Sale the double over Worcester this season.
Super focus from Sale. They knew what they needed to do from that restart. They went long. Lydia Thompson took the ball really well, but Sale knew they needed to attack that breakdown. They needed to make the tackle, get in there and secure that penalty ball. Really clever play from Sale to complete this game.
What a game of rugby it has been, though. End-to-end stuff.
Certainly been a great game to commentate on. It's flown by. There's been so much action, so many highlights, and you know, real testament to women's rugby up here today.
Rugby is strong in the north. Sale Sharks doing this. It's such a great start to the season, didn't they? Results they would have wanted of late, but this was a big one today. Those in and amongst you, in and around you in the table.
Yeah, you can't underestimate the power of this win for Sale. It'll be crucial to their mindset and to their physicality moving forward as well.
They won those first 3, didn't they? DMP and Loughborough Harlequins. Lost 2 after that. This win just kickstart this season again. Continue this home run as well. So.
Yeah, we talked about the fortress, didn't we? I was just going to mention that, you know, it has to be a fortress, and you know, they've ground out this win today, crucially.
And Sarah Law kicks that ball off the field. Referee blows the final whistle. Look at the seats. That's what it means to the Sale players. They knew this was going to be a tight one. And you hear she was against them, but They'd beaten Worcester earlier in the season in round 2, and they were so determined to keep this great home record going, and they have beaten University of Worcester Warriors here 36 points to 34 in a cracking game of rugby.
Yeah, well-deserved win, but for both sides, we've got to give a mention to Worcester. They threw the kitchen sink at Sale. They absolutely finished the game as strongly as they possibly could, and at the end of the day, Sale just probably deserved that victory, just in terms of their possession, their territory game, just being a little bit more clever about where they were on the field. And a great finish for Sale, and a thoroughly deserved win. You could see what it meant to the players, the way they sprinted onto the pitch at the end of the game to celebrate that win. And I don't think we can underestimate how crucial that victory will be for Sale moving forwards.
Yeah, 6 tries apiece. You talked about the conversion, didn't we? Just the 2 points, the difference in the end. The home record continues. That's 4 wins from their 5 home games this season. In fact, that's 5 of the last 6. Before that, they'd lost 8 in a row. So it's such a focus this season. I'm delighted for Rachel Taylor. Who knows what kind of bouquet that she'll arrange tomorrow now with this victory here today.
If she's using that for a mindfulness and taking her head out of the game, it's certainly working, because she's getting sharp on the field. There were some great leadership decisions there from Sale today, and some great strategical substitutions as well. So I think hats up to Rachel Taylor. She's done a really good job out there today as managing that Sale side.
Great celebrations for these tries. First half was very much like the second, wasn't it?
Yeah, just really good play. The fact that they rumbled on, in that tight space, they were going for it, hitting the gain line really hard, and just looking after the ball, and that's simple stuff, but Sale did it really, really well, and they looked after the ball at crucial times, got their heads in the right places, got their body shapes right, and that try was a really good starting point for that second half.
Yeah, it was. It was Benson who got the 5 points, and they started at that second half, looking through the highlights, exactly as they started the first half, when a couple of tries up.
Yeah, I mean, this try was lovely. The interplay here, the angle on that inside ball, the fact that they managed to keep the ball alive. And, we said about Grieve and what she did in the first half, and in the second half she continued that. That finish there was outstanding for a scrum half.
Yeah, it was a great try. That wasn't probably the pick with your player of the match. And there was a break from Vicky Irwin, the centre.
Yeah, looked after the ball. There was a little spill, but really managed the contact very well. Loose ball was picked up, and then the balls just moved. They were moving the point of contact all the time, looking to play rugby. That's what you want from your outside backs. And Grieve just took the ball, did someone in a phone box style there, and then managed to get across the line. Power and pace, all aplenty.
Certainly was. They just kept coming, Sale, didn't they? Definitely not the best day from the floor with the boot in terms of conversions, and she moved from fly half to full back, but she's certainly one for the future. So they're nice and flat there.
Yeah, I think she's got a great future in the game. The only bits that she lacked today were just through her experience and just that lack of composure in key situations. But actually, the things she did, the positive impact she had on the game were massive. So I was pleased she stayed on the field and was moved to fullback.
Well, that was 31-17 then, and then it was Worcester. Rather like in the first half, this purple patch that they had in a very different way to that Grieve try. It was Gareth Phillips again.
Yeah, she's just been phenomenal, hasn't she? Just the detail around the line out. It takes a lot to retain all the information, to be able to produce this on the field week in, week out. And she showed her power game, but she also showed how clever she is in those situations, reading the play, making sure she went over the line 3 times in the game.
Yeah, when they got that line out, when they got those body positions right, Jonathan Harries had come on at this point, Natalia John there in the middle of it as well. Katie Matterson at this stage was controlling that as well.
Yeah, we've got to mention her again, because she came on and she did change the game. She made sure that Worcester were going forwards at the appropriate times, making sure they were using their territory game and just steering the ship. And I think she had a huge influence on that second half, and the fact that they nearly took the scalp at the end.
This conversion from Yamamoto, 31-22 at this stage, and that Gareth Phillips hat-trick. The player from the other spectrum, as it were.
Yeah, and Karis Phillips was very much in the mix for this. It's difficult, isn't it, when you're trying to give player of the match and the game's still hanging in the balance, but Karis Phillips was very much up there. Just everything about her, just the whole player. But here we go, Lydia Thompson. What a finish. She was in the mix too.
The second try for Lydia Thompson. Used the fend and that power yet again.
Yeah, she just has that ability to stay on her feet and stay really strong. She was so close to the touchline again then, but 3 players couldn't get her into touch, so she just has that real low centre of gravity and momentum and force and power to keep herself in and keep herself low and driving. She has a really good skill set in that area.
Yeah, it's a fabulous finish, and then Alicia Washington, this sealed it for Sale, didn't it?
It did, and I think it typifies what her game's all about, that power, that explosive power from the back of the scrum. Her ability to stay on her feet when she nearly hit the deck, stay on her feet, stay balanced, stay strong, and reach out for the try. Fantastic try, and injured herself in the process.
Yeah, and the pain written all over her face straight away, but look at the determination here. Slowly off the side of the scrum, Worcester trying to look out for them, but stretched and got over the try line. That's why Rachel Taylor wanted to see her at 8, and then Worcester came back, and we thought, well, perhaps there's something, a little sting in the end of this tail.
There was still time, wasn't there? You know, if that kick-off had gone differently and they'd gone into open play, and Worcester could have made the journey back up to the other half and score again. But the fact that they remained in the game, the fact they got that try back, just shows their mindset piece, the way they're being driven, the way they're challenging themselves all the time to stay in the game. Really impressive from Worcester today, and I always feel a bit sorry for Jo Yap because they left everything on the field and actually they just came at the wrong end of the result.
Yeah, it did, didn't that? That Conway try was the end of the scoring for us. They got the conversion, didn't she, Yamamoto? And there are the confirmed results from today. Exeter Chiefs with a huge win over DMP Sharks. They just keep going, don't they? As do Gloucester Hartpury in that West Country derby. Bristol Bears, they Wardside have gone down to Sean Lynn's side, 17-19. Saracens continue to move their way up the table, aren't they? 71 points against Wasps, and you've got a feel for those Wasps players just sticking around, want to Wasps forwards to Wasps, those players there. Coaches, whatever, sticking it out for them, but another hard day at the office for them. And then confirmation here up in Sale, 36-34. On Sunday tomorrow, Harlequins against Loughborough Lightning. That will be a fascinating contest. This is what it means to the table. Gloucester Hartpury and Exeter Chiefs. Gloucester faultless, aren't they? 10 from 10, dropping only 2 points in the process. Exeter with their 9th win. Saracens up to 3rd. Harlequins playing tomorrow, of course. Worcester in 5th. Sale up to 6th now, 23 points. And just behind Bristol. Loughborough can go up the table a little bit in terms of points, but to DMP and Wasps still to trouble the scorers. Well, Mary Grieve is standing by now, the player of the match, waiting to speak to Ashley.
Big smiles all round. I mean, the side of the pitch was just, you know, the momentum. They threw their arms up. They were so happy with that. Can you just sum up getting that bonus point win today?
Oh, I think the heart rate is probably higher on the side of the pitch than it was on the pitch. So, yeah, there was a lot of tension on there, and I think it's like a big week for all of us at Sharks this week, getting kind of the conditional offer back into the Prem, and this kind of epitomises rugby in the Northwest. So, like a big moment for all of us today, I think.
Yeah, do you feel like that's given you a bit of a boost? Because you came out firing from the start.
Yeah, I think so. We've had like a bit of a point to prove, just showing that like rugby is thriving up here, and actually we need a Premiership team. And this kind of highlights that, because look at the quality of rugby that we've just played today.
And the quality that you in particular have played. You had a fantastic game. You obviously had a fantastic break in the first half. You got the try, real team effort, really exciting to watch. That's the kind of rugby you must love to